Utah AR-15 here. Obviously, I've only made one video. I've been doing more watching than actually doing video. But I thought today I'd throw something up there. Just tell about my own experience with prepping. I've been prepping for about a year. Pretty regular. But I've been prepping the wrong thing. I've been more worried about ammo. You know, Yankee Prepper talked about a triangle. We need all three of them. Food and water, shelter, protection. Well, I've been concentrating all my efforts on protection. Very little on the other two. So about 7-8 months ago, I went through and I thinned out my gun collection. I had 4 AR-15s. I sold 3 of them. I had an AK, two SKSs. SKSs were junk. I didn't like them. I didn't like the way they shot, so I sold them. The AKs were fine guns. I didn't have a problem with them, but I decided I was going to go with an AR. So I kept one. I kept my Smith & Wesson MP15. Sold the other ones, paid off some bills. In the meantime, I've started building up my water and food collection. Food, I probably got about 2 or 3 weeks worth. I know it's not a lot, but it's a start. Water, I got about a month's supply at 1 gallon a day. That might not be adequate. I'm thinking in all reality it's probably been closer to 3 weeks. But it's the start. I got my hot water heater. There's some water in there. There's basically water supplies where I can basically you know, filter my water, get all the crap out of it, and I think water I won't have a problem with. I know a lot of people I've talked to, their whole concentration's on guns. They figure they'll just show up at the local supermarket, and you know, them and 15 of their buddies, and just start, you know, basically going and take everything from the supermarket if everything breaks down. Well, you and 30 or 40 other gangs. I suggest, from everything I've read, you know, you can basically, you can follow Yankee Prepper's channel. You can go to Membound, SoCal Prepper, Utah AR-15, Utah AR-15, that's me, Lowbuck Prepper, all these guys. They all talk about the same thing. You see, right now, you know, I'm like a lot of other people out there. I'm prepping on a budget. I have to hit dollar stores. I have to hit thrift stores. I have to look for sales to get stuff. And, you know, money's not exactly flowing, you know. It doesn't grow on trees, we all know. Yeah, I got a good job. I make good money. But unfortunately, like everyone else, I've got too many bills. Well, maybe not everyone else, but most everybody I know. What you're looking at on the screen right now is a place called ModernSurvivalOnline.com. This guy's got some awesome information out there. I recommend, if you have time, check it out. If you don't like it, don't go back. I've learned a lot from this guy. He's got some PDF files, a lot of videos, a lot of great information. You know, like everybody else, I started out with YouTube. I think the first guy I ran into about prepping was Yankee Prepper. Yeah, maybe to start with, I fell into his ass hat category. Possibility, man. I might have done it. But, you know, I started listening. I started watching. I didn't shoot my mouth off because I thought some of the stuff he was talking about was crazy. I just watched, and then, you know, I kept moving on. One of the newest first people I found is just another prepper. He's got some good ideas. Guy's worth checking out. Lowbuck Prepper, another great guy to check out. What I've done for me, as far as shelter, I have my home. I have wood under my deck. I have a fireplace. I have some propane heaters. I have some electric heaters. Now, electricity goes out, the electric heaters aren't going to do much. I have 2 generators. camping size generators, but still would be enough to power one of those heaters, be enough to power some lights. I moved away from the freezer storage. Yes, I have food in there, but that's not where my main focus is, because if something happens, you're without power for a long period of time, you're going to lose everything in your freezer. And you know, even if you have a generator to power it, eventually everything in there's gone. So I've started working on canned goods, dry goods. You guys know what it's about, man. Everyone's here. I'm hoping to do some reviews here in a while. I mean, work's been crazy. I want to do some reviews on some of the budget items I've ran across that's cheaper than the name brand stuff. Like, you know, some flashlights that you might pay $20 for instead of 80 or 100. I mean, I'm not knocking Surefire, but my wallet does. I can't afford them. I've seen them. I've messed with them. Maybe they justify the money in some means, but not what I need. I've checked out some battery-powered flashlights. Excuse me, some crank flashlights. They're not bad. They don't have the power of the Surefire by any means. But anyway, back to the subject. I get asked by friends and family all the time when I bring up this prepping idea. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Then I got asked by a good friend that's starting to understand the whole prepping thing. He asked me outright, he said, why do you prep? Who do you prep for? Well, why I prep is so if anything happens, man-made, a disaster, look at all the hurricanes going on right now, tornadoes. In Utah, we're getting much more rain than normal. Man, a lot of people flooding. I've been donating some of my time to try to help these guys out. I prep for that reason. And who do I prep for? I prep for my family and friends. I wish I could be like Yankee Prepper and some of these other guys just had all kinds of space dedicated for food storage. But, you know, I don't have that room. I live in an 1,800 square foot house. I've donated some room. Sometimes I feel like the preps are overriding everything. You know, like I said, to start with, I was just totally on guns, ammo. That's all my focus for prepping is about. Well, now I've started moving into the food and water. I think I got my shelter taken care of. Wish I could afford out a bug out property. But what I have done, I've contacted friends and families in other states. So, I mean, where I live, I can go north, south, east, west. And there's someone there if I can get to them. So I have, you know, a place to go out of Utah. If something happens right here in Utah, I have a place to go. I have one person that lives out of the country in Mexico. If I need to, I can get there. I'd say Mexico is where I'd want to go, but you know, you have to have all your things planned out. Brooklyn Prepper is another great guy on YouTube. You know, one of his favorite sayings is basically live for today, prep for tomorrow. I've started taking a lot of those words to heart. You have to prep for tomorrow. That's what it's about. And it could be something as simple, man, when you go to the grocery store this weekend, if you're going to have chili dogs on Monday, maybe pick up 2 cans of chili instead of 1. Put 1 in your cupboard, shelf in your basement, underneath your stairs, you know, wherever you're going to basically set up your prepping, pantry, whatever. Then right there's 1 can of food. There's 1 can of chili. Get a Sound Club membership, Costco membership. They have some really great buys in there. A lot of people say they're stocking up on alcohol, tobacco. Well, I don't smoke anymore. So tobacco is nothing I'm going to mess with because it's tempting to be here. And honestly, alcohol is too damn expensive. I know it'd be a good trading commodity if the time came about. Well, anyway, as you can see, this is my second video. actually my first video. The other one was just a review of one Yankee Prepper did. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it here. Hope someone learned something. If you have any ideas, shoot me a PM, comment to this video. I hope to be doing more. So Utah AR-15 signing off.